Water is one of the abundant elements here on Earth. According to USGS, about 71% of Earth's surface are covered by water. About 97% is the oceans or salt water, and only 3% is the fresh water. The water cycle describes how water is exchanged through Earth's land, ocean, and atmosphere. Water always exists in all three places and in many forms, as lakes, rivers, glaciers, ice sheets, oceans, seas, underground aquifers, vapor in the air, and vapor in the clouds. The water cycle consists of three major processes, which are the following: evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Evaporation is simply the process by which liquid turns into a gas. The water cycle's evaporation process is driven by the sun. As the sun interacts with liquid water on the surface of the ocean, the water becomes an invisible gas or water vapor. You can see how important the sun is in the water cycle. Without the sun, there will be no water cycle because the entire cycle is driven by the sun's heat. Condensation is a process by which water vapor or gas in the atmosphere turns into water or in a liquid state. It is the opposite of evaporation. Condensation is a vital stage because it is the cloud formation stage. As water vaporizes into the atmosphere, they mix up with very tiny particles of dust, soot, and salt, which are all particulate matter in the atmosphere. These particles are called aerosols. As the surrounding temperatures fall, the water vapor turns into very tiny particles of water and ice crystals. The water particles bump into the aerosols and stick together. As more and more water particles and aerosols stick together, clouds are formed. Cooler temperatures are essential for condensation to happen because as long as the temperature in the atmosphere is high, it can hold the water vapor and delay condensation. Precipitation describes any liquid or solid water that falls to Earth as a result of condensation in the atmosphere. After condensation, the size of water droplets in the atmosphere gets bigger as more and more water particles bump into each other. Soon, the force of gravity is more than the wind or air currents holding it. The water has to come down. Precipitation can come in many forms such as snow, rain, sleet, hail, and freezing rain. Evaporation, condensation, and precipitation are important parts of the water cycle. However, they are not the only ones. Transpiration is a discharge of water vapor from the leaves of plants into the atmosphere. During transpiration, water absorbed from the soil by the roots of the plant is carried up into the leaves. There, moisture is discharged through small pores on the side of the leaves. The amount of water transpired depends on the plant itself, the moisture in the ground, the surrounding temperature, and the wind movement around the plant. Transpiration can occur together with evaporation. When this happens, we call it evapotranspiration. Evapotranspiration accounts for about 10% of vapor in the atmosphere. Sublimation is a process in which ice, solid particles, can turn directly into vapor without first turning into liquid. This phenomenon is common in arid climates where dry winds hitting snow sucks up the moisture, changing the snow directly into vapor. Runoff is precipitation that did not get absorbed into the soil or did not evaporate and therefore made its way from the ground surface into places that water collect. Infiltration is the process by which precipitation or water soaks into subsurface soils and moves into rocks through cracks and pore spaces. The bulk of rainwater and melted snow end up infiltrated. Water may get absorbed by the soil and may stay in the soil for a long time until it gradually gets evaporated. If there is a lot of vegetative covers or green plants, the infiltrated water can also get absorbed by plant roots and later transpired. Infiltration occurs in the upper layers of the ground but may also continue further downwards into the water table. Water is the fundamental ingredient of lives on Earth. From plants, animals, to humans, water is our basic needs.